Hello, my spoons of nonsense. This is a spoonful of magic, and this is the show you've been waiting for all week. What happened so far in SKAM France? So let's talk about episode 5 and what happened so far up until now. On Friday, there was a screening where Axel finally attended, and everyone went nuts over Maxon's and Axel's interactions, and I kept seeing gifs of it the whole week. Obviously, they're adorable, they're really nice, and I think there's an interview that hasn't been released yet. I don't know the name of the thing. But as an outcome of this screening, SKAM got to take part in a page-long thing in a national newspaper. And their names are getting bigger and bigger. Thank God. Maybe we might get a season 5. So on Luca's side, we get a radio silence the whole weekend, and during which all of Tumblr goes nuts, worrying what happened to Luca. You know, apparently we won't hear from him until Monday. But before we hear about Luca on Monday, we hear about Everything Is Love number 3 SKAM convention on Sunday, and the date is set. It's May 12th, and I'm going. Much love to Infinities of Books. I'm not going to butcher your name, love, but you know I love you. Thank you so much. So on Monday, we come back to Luca bracing the crowd, and we see him putting on his hood and walking through the crowd. And we see his friends, Elliot, Alex, and Chloe laughing at him. But then when Daphne comes out to ask him for help about something about Foyer, we realize that Luca is actually just hallucinating because of his fear. It's just that you should take a moment to realize how scared Luca must have been, to just imagine his own friends laughing at him. But at the same time, let me remind you that he didn't see any of the girls' squad laughing at him, which means I will leave that I will leave that consideration to you. And then we see Daphne sending a lot of Pinteresty things about Foyer inspiration to her Instagram story, and then Alexa follow, and then even Mika follows with this, you know, Pinterest vibe. So everyone is getting hyped. Even after saying, yes, I will help you to Daphne, Luca doesn't care. He's focused on other matters, because we see him in a second clip. 2 clips on a Monday. And we see him actually going after Chloe in her PE class. And she basically tells him that she can say whatever the hell she wants. And she's not wrong to out him, basically. And then all of a sudden, all of the fandom hates Chloe. Saying that, there are many people who are trying to actually say, oh, she's young. She doesn't know. You know, it's okay to do that because she's young. She doesn't know any better. But I don't agree, okay? She's not that young. But then as he's leaving the room, he runs into Jan, who actually acts the best friend role that he has, and tells him, like, I don't know what you're going through. Either go through it on your own and then come back to us, or talk to us, dude. And I really appreciated that. And all of a sudden, everyone is on Jan's side. And then, like, Axel started... I can't say Axel started, but there's a hashtag going on Twitter, selfies for Axel, and Axel is liking everyone's selfies. And he is also sending some pictures of his dog, like I was surprised. Before we get any clip, a drawing from Elliot drops. And everyone is going nuts because it's not like the normal ones. It's not on the screen, and it's on a notebook. Looking at the drawing, it's of a raccoon trying to write out the letter to someone. Obviously, he's not happy with what he writes, so he keeps throwing the paper out to start a new one. And because this is on a notebook, everyone assumes that we might see this in Luca's hands. But I'm not really sure, and we haven't seen Elliot leave any notes for him just yet, except for the hedgehog one. On Monday, we said that Daphne asks Luca for help about the sofa carrying on Wednesday. So none of us actually wait for something on Tuesday, but what we get is the cardamom scene, which is 10 times worse. 10 times worse than the OG one, because Elliot does not know what the hell is going on right now. Elliot does not know that Luca saw him, and Elliot probably doesn't know what Luca is going through. But we see them in the cafeteria getting food, and Elliot basically cuts into the line to talk to Luca. They talk about 2 dishes. Basically, Elliot says, okay, if I were you, I would pick both, which is a throwback to their first talk in front of the vending machine, because if I were you, I think this one is good kind of conversation. But Luca really misunderstands this conversation, and he looks really heartbroken for a second before saying, you have to choose. That is the most iconic line of this episode so far. Fight me, at me. And then Elliot gets this small smile and starts to tell a joke, but Luca is not having any of that. He just grabs a dish and then runs away. And very high possibility that Elliot looked and saw his hand, because he was using his hand that had the bandage. And you can see his eyes follow the line of the hand if you look very carefully, which I did. But Elliot looks kind of like sad as Luca runs off. So Luca takes this tray, goes into the cafeteria to sit down, but he looks at one side and sees his friends laughing, and he remembers the fight on Friday, and he didn't actually face them afterwards, even though Jan said nothing was wrong and everything was okay. He couldn't face them, and then he turns the other way, and then he sees Chloe and her friend, who most probably knows that Luca is gay, look at them, and then Luca just almost breaks down, and then he just leaves the uneaten food, untouched food, and then runs away. And Elliot sees him run away. And there are many parallels between previous episodes and this one. For example, many people showed a parallel between the trailer and this episode, in which, well, they just shoulder brush each other as if they're strangers here, which happened the same way in the trailer. Or, you know, the hoodie shot from Monday morning clip also seems really similar to how Elliot first entered the school. Another thing we get on Tuesday is a text conversation between Daphne and Luca. Daphne actually getting confirmation that Luca will help them with the sofa, and instead of like being like Isak, who's like, okay, we'll do, you know, Luca is like, okay, I will see you tomorrow, Daphne, and they are very adorable. But of course, that is not it, because Elliot gets really shaken by, you have to choose, apparently, that he deletes the picture that he sent out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the picture that he sent way before he knew Luca, and then he sent this picture after Friday. Because he thought she was his safe place. But after Luca says, you have to choose, Elliot makes a choice and he deletes this picture. But does he stop there? Of course not. He sent out this picture, which actually made us all go nuts. Because for one, the caption says, in case you foolishly forget, I am always thinking of you. And oh my god, this is as big as Elliot's gestures go. I think many people wanted him to be in the literature class just because of this dramatic effect. But this is a quote from Virginia Woolf, who also had a mental illness, and this was from a letter to her husband, if I remember correctly. Secondly, the picture is about Pygmalion. Pygmalion is about a king who's trying to find the perfect love, and then basically he creates the statue of this perfect person, and he begs to the gods to make her real after falling in love with it. On this day, we also get a behind-the-scenes letter from Niels, and it's about the hedgehog and raccoon story, and it's adorable. Also, if you haven't read it, we learned that in the first time that they hang out in Elliot's house, and Elliot touches Luca's hair for the first time, Elliot really wanted to kiss him. This was the biggest revelation, I think, for most of us. And obviously, he touched his hair in the hallway, after "I don't need crazy people in my life" comment, because he didn't want to kiss him for the last time. That was heartbreaking. And on this day, we got a live stream from Mixons thanking everyone for buying tickets for Everything Is Love. He giggles to himself after he says "Shoutout," okay? It was amazing. And finally today, the first thing we get, Rocco is in Paris. And we get Mixons and Rocco talking in each other's languages. Obviously, they have to send out Instagram pictures with captions, "Alternate Universes Part 2." And everyone goes nuts. Also, we get another clip today of Luca and Girl Squad carrying the sofa. And we also see Manon trying to ignore and avoid Charles' talk. We got a lot of Instagram updates from this one clip. And on Tumblr, if you have read some comments, many people think this was like an icebreaker and just an opportunity to have some comic relief before it all goes down to shit. And some other people think it's really pointless. It really didn't add anything to the story. The biggest problem that appeared out of this clip is that Daphne is asking about Basil. Oh my god. On Tumblr, maybe if you follow me on Tumblr, you might see that I put on my clown makeup one too many times, wondering if Elliot might appear, wondering if you know, the foyer wall was being painted, wondering if, you know, there could be a talk or would be a talk between Manon and Luca. I put a lot of makeup on and all of it is off, as you can see right now. Anyway, that is all I have written down for this week. Just let me know if I missed anything, because I feel like I missed something. But one thing to mention, if you're going to Everything Is Love convention, just hit me up. We can maybe meet up. If you see a crazy lady with a mask on in Paris, that's me. In May, though, not now. I am going to try to react to episode 4 by Saturday, so that I can react to episode 5 until next week. So I can actually follow with the clips, because that's what I want to do. So please leave a like, comment if you have anything to say, if you have anything to add, if you have anything to ask. Also hit me up on Tumblr, Instagram, and Twitter. Okay, this has been a spoonful of magic, coming at you with what happened so far. Let's continue spewing nonsense another time.